Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa, which I've just been calling Danganronpa. Um, well, I think probably in the Japanese version it's probably Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, the other way around. The game, after following a tradition of most games that I play being left running for usually the entire duration of me covering the game, this one's been running for at least a week, and it locked up when I tried to alt tab back into it. The good news is I'm fairly certain we saved. This does give us an opportunity to come back to the main menu and see if there's anything we can really change. It doesn't seem like that's the case if you're going to load. I also did watch the intro video a second time, and there is kind of a bit of a spoiler in the intro video in the fact that Sayaka and Tomo, the first two people to die in the game, are the first two people introduced. But then the next couple of people introduced aren't the next couple of people to die. So there might be a bit of a spoiler there, I guess. But you kind of have to realize that, and it would be quite the assumption. If this isn't where we are, then we are definitely in trouble. I've also checked the achievements, and that does create a situation where, why did the screen just minimize for me? That was weird. The main screen just minimized down for no reason. There are achievements for filling out each of the things that we had for filling out each of the report cards. We can also see here that there's an event gallery of several of the custom cutscenes, which, I imagine this is not going to specifically spoil anything for us that we haven't already seen. Wow. Every single cutscene is limited here, but apparently I missed something. Interesting that before certain things appear, there are empty spaces, and we can see there's a massive amount of empty spaces still before you even get down to Monokuma theaters. But if anything, there apparently are only 5 more Monokuma theaters, so 5 more nights perhaps in the entire game. There is also an achievement for getting 999 Monokuma tokens. I don't know how you would do that. We've got some movies, but you can kind of see how there's fewer of those, obviously. We have some artwork that might very well be achievement based or just completion based, that they're unlocked, and they very well might have spoilers in them if any of those were unlocked. We have a sound gallery, which it does seem like there is a considerable amount of music here, more than it would seem like, because I would honestly argue that it feels like they had only made 2 songs. And you can see on the sides they have the silhouette of each character with earbuds in their ears. And then apparently you can just go straight to the school store and do the Monokuma tokens from the main menu. Can I get back to this main menu? I guess I could at any point I wanted to. There's also a section that hasn't been unlocked. We have some options here, but these are just your standard options. Again, so the thing we're not seeing here is any difficulty. And I guess going back to specific chapters might make some sense. In fact, this kind of tells us how many chapters we even have left. 4, 5, 6, 7. And that seventh spot might very well be it might very well be a case of an epilogue. Okay. Ding dong bing bong.
Good morning, everyone. Get ready to...
Alright. Today we have to look for alter ego. Good. So we're saved right where we are. So I'm not in any trouble at all. Okay, first things first, to the dining hall. So alter ego went missing. I heavily suspect Kyoko moved alter ego so Taka and Hifumi would stop being obsessed with it and potentially exposing it. I found myself in surprisingly high spirits and hurried to the dining hall. But when I found out what was waiting for me there... What is it? What happened to the others? Aren't they coming? There was only 3 people in the dining hall. Sakura, Hina, and Kyoko. So including me, only 4 people. God, this is why I hate people who take their sweet time with everything.
However,
anyway, let's wait a little while longer for the others. So we decided to wait in case anyone else showed up, but no matter how long we waited. So it's 8 o'clock. We've been here a full hour. Let's just look at the report cards here just to remind yourself. So that would mean Taka is missing, Byakuya is missing, which makes some sense. Hifumi is missing. Yashihiro is missing. Toko is missing. And Celeste is missing. That's a considerable amount of people, for sure. Why haven't the others come? Hiro and Celeste never missed a day till now. And what I'm really worried about is Hifumi and Taka. They were more eager than anyone to look for alter ego, and they're not here.
It can't be.
Something must have happened. Huh?
It would seem...
I was careless. I was too distracted by alter ego. But Monokuma gave us a motive. There's no way something wouldn't happen eventually. Monokuma's motive, the $10 million.
$10 million!
And see, in a re-release of this, you might either change that to billion, or even maybe go a little bit comedic with it and go 10 million space bucks, or 10 million Monokuma bucks, the most valuable currency ever. If you go with a fake currency, you don't ever have to update it again.
I've prepared this graduation present.
Million still
Whichever
works for
lucky
most
student
people.
Makes it out of here alive. What do you think? It's 10 million bucks. 10 million smackaroos. It's like totally wowie, wow, am I right?
Don't tell me someone did something for money. That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't bother. I already understood, and I hated that I did. You could never really know another person completely. Anything can happen here. You can't consider it strange. Not really.
Hey.
We need to go look for the people who never showed up. Okay, let's go track them down. Without another word, we left the dining room. This would be dining hall. This would be a great point for them to not split up also. Like when there's so few of them left. We can cover more ground if we split up. You know what would make a lot of sense is if literally 3 or 4 people all agreed to not show up, murder someone else, and then in the class trial the investigation might get confused as to who was the blackened and who wasn't. Because if you had to have two trials because there were two murderers at the exact same time or nearly the same time, then I don't know how Monokuma would figure that out. Or would he have one trial, then the other trial, then the other trial? Probably, and that would probably still end up with somebody getting screwed. But of course, Kyoko is going to tell us to split up immediately. Sakura, you go check the dorms, make sure to check all of our rooms. Makoto, you check the first floor of the school. Meanwhile, I'll check the second floor. Okay, then I'll guess I'll check the third floor. Don't take any risk. If anything happens, call for help right away. I really hope nothing happens. So do I. Okay, let's go. Anxiety was written across each of our faces as we went our separate ways. Without hesitation, I rushed to the first floor of the school. Okay, need to look around the first floor. So, I imagine is we are not able to go anywhere, so this is pretty much just a case of we have to search everywhere. If we're gonna find somebody, we're gonna find somebody, so I don't think there's really a good argument to tap on a whole bunch of things and look for more Monokuma tokens. If we were gonna get like 999 Monokuma tokens, you pretty much couldn't buy any presents on the first game play, which would then make it pretty much impossible to hang out with people and give them presents. So that definitely feels like it's a secondary thing. There's also an achievement for basically taking no damage in a trial, which I don't know how I could pull that off in even the first trial without some major skill improvements. A lot of the achievements also are direct references to the Nonary games. So I half wonder if maybe this game came out after the Nonary games and was kind of a counter argument to what the Nonary games are, in that the Nonary games are adults in this murder game and very few people die until the very end, and Danganronpa is in kids in the high school and it's more comedic, and maybe has more gameplay mechanics definitely compared to the Nonary games. So we have someone come here. What? That was Hina. She's supposed to be checking the third floor. There's no time to think. I was running for the stairs before I knew what was happening. So they just wanted us to search two places, I imagine, and then she was gonna scream for help, which that saves you some wasted time. I flew up the stairs leading to the third floor. Right away I saw her standing in the hallway.
Please.
Makoto. Hina, what's wrong? It's awful. The rec room door was open, and when I looked inside, I saw. What do you see? I better go get the others, right? I'm gonna go get them. You go ahead, Makoto. Before I could say anything, she was rushing downstairs. So if Aoi was the murderer, she's just left Makoto alone so that he can be accused of messing with the crime scene. Rec room, what did she see in there? By the point I was used to acting without thinking, so without thinking I leapt into the rec room. First thing I saw when I got into the rec room was Celeste with a bunch of scuff marks on her face. It was Celeste and she was hurt. Alright, so we are in investigation mode. Then, well, there was all kinds of things we could investigate before, and we, I suppose, probably don't need to investigate things that are pretty normal. Because, like, these are probably just distractions. And yeah, he's basically saying, I don't have time about that. But we do have over here a mallet of some sort. on the floor, so let's look at that. What is this? It's some kind of wooden hammer or something. Pretty strange design. There's something written on the head. Justice Hammer 1. That's the hammer he attacked me with. I barely managed to avoid the blow, but I stumbled and fell. I now curse my lack of daily exercise. So you were attacked with this? Justice Hammer 1. Alright. Hifumi mentioned a Justice Hammer anime, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is a comic here for Justice Hammer also. And it's not like Hifumi didn't mention Justice Hammer in front of everyone, so that doesn't immediately point evidence that it was Hifumi that tried to hit her with a hammer. God, Makoto. Celeste, what happened? I was stupid. I got attacked. Attacked by who? I'm not sure. Some sort of strange man. Strange man. A suspicious person whose existence is so unusual I can't help but call him strange. Without a doubt, it was some sort of strange, suspicious individual. And that man attacked me with that hammer on the ground there. Makoto. Celeste. I found Sakura.
What?
Celeste, what on earth happened here? Apparently she was attacked by some kind of strange man. A strange man? Tell us everything you can remember, Celeste. Be as detailed as you can. Again, the Japanese word for strange, hin, so there might be a pun in this, or it might be that in Japanese she is literally just saying I was attacked by some pervert as just a general assumption. And then they're localizing it to strange man. Or... Well, I woke up this morning a little before 7 a.m. Nighttime was not over yet, but I knew it was about to end, so I decided it would be okay if I decided to take a little stroll around the first floor. I understand now that that was a mistake. Particularly since that's the role you instigated. Anyway... That was where I first saw the strange man. I was immediately wary of him. Interesting, the idea that a new person might be introduced to the group. He was obviously suspicious, so I decided to follow after him in secret. After I followed, I saw him go into the rec room. I tried to peek through the gap in the door, which is when he noticed me, and that's when you were attacked. It happened after 7 a.m., just after nighttime had ended. So it happened just after 7 o'clock. So we're getting a timeline here. Feels like you should either have an automatic like notes page being filled in, or you perhaps maybe even would want to write down these notes. Although you really don't get enough data that doesn't end up in the truth bullets anyways. So the idea of something like this showing up as a truth bullet right now as your note equivalent would be just kind of distracting. Then that was about an hour ago, right when we were all meeting in the dining hall. The attack caused me to lose consciousness, which would mean I was unconscious for about an hour. Well, I'm just glad you weren't hurt too badly. That is because I begged and groveled for my life. You did? That doesn't sound like anything Celeste would do.
As for me,
I told him I would do anything if he spared me. And the whole bruising on her face or scuff marks on her face are now gone because they're using a different face. I offered to lick his boots, whatever it took.
I see.
So you're willing to throw away all your pride.
indeed.
It is a necessary skill for survival. Anyway, the important thing now is that we go search for that suspicious individual. If we do not hurry, this could become a serious problem. Gotta react to everything. React, what do you mean, a serious problem? When I looked in the rec room, I saw that the suspicious man was not alone. He had with him Hifumi. Hifumi? After he attacked me, he dragged Hifumi away.
What?
You mean Hifumi was kidnapped? Shouldn't we start looking for him then? Listen, Celeste, did anything in particular stand out about this strange guy? Did anything stand out? Well, rather than try and explain it, it would probably be faster if I simply showed you. Show us.
Indeed.
This is Hifumi's hand-me-down, his digital camera. You don't mean...
Actually,
I was able to photograph the suspicious individual without him realizing it. Seriously? Let's see. I would tell you not to be shocked, but I fear it would do no good. With that strange comment in mind, we all looked at the camera. So, it's a robot, or a person in a robot suit. Costume. I'm looking at the edges of the camera. It doesn't seem like there's anything particularly weird about the settings. So, what? Well, you were definitely right about the strange part. Their face is totally covered. Is that a robot costume? As I said, a very strange and suspicious individual, yes. So this weird robot guy dragged Hifumi away. And I took this right after being attacked. In other words, a full hour ago. Which is why if we don't hurry, it could become a serious problem. I believe I understand what happened. Well, no, there's much I don't understand, but... The point is, someone dressed like that dragged Hifumi away. And it happened over an hour ago. You didn't hear Hifumi screaming? This is bad, we have to hurry. Celeste, do you know where this mystery man went?
let's see.
When they left the rec room, they headed left. If that's true, they were headed toward the stairs leading down to the second floor. They must be down there, right? The second floor? That's where Kyoko is supposed to be. Speaking of which, why isn't Kyoko here? Sorry, I didn't have time to go look for her.
This is bad.
This is bad. If the strange man did head to the second floor, Kyoko might run into him. We have to hurry. Kyoko's in danger. Well, also, Hifumi's in danger, isn't he? As soon as the words were out of my mouth, we all rushed out of the room and down to the second floor. Hey, you too. What's going on? What's all the fuss? So Byakuya's still alive, at least. And Genocide Jill's still alive, at least. Yeah, you guys playing a game or something? Does it freaking look like we're playing a game? Listen, have either of you seen Hifumi or Kyoko? Nope, sure haven't. Are they on this floor? We just got here ourselves. I heard some kind of uproar, so I came running. We came here together, says Genocide Jill. No, you're just stalking me. Anyway, can you guys help us look for them? Why? What happened? There's no time, we'll explain later. Well, fine, it sounds like something interesting is going on. Hifumi, Kyoko, can you hear me? Say something. Her voice echoed down the hall in vain.
Oh.
Did you hear something? Maybe. I think it came from the library. The library? Okay, let's go. So now they're just running all over the place, kind of wasting time, but at least this is a realistic action scene that you can put in a visual novel, and it doesn't seem crazy wasteful. They ran to the library as fast as their legs would carry them. When they opened the door to the library, we have a bloody Hifumi. So fewer and fewer people are possibly dead now. It hurts. We found Hifumi seriously injured. Are you okay? I'm glad to see you're still alive. It's super bad. Look at all the blood.
What?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now. So he had RJ on his suit, and I'm fairly certain he had already talked about an anime character named Robo Justice.
What did you
What are you
say?
talking about? Okay, so is this just going to be another case where we should just should we talk to each of these people, or should we just move the story forward? Well, Fatbook took us Serious shellacking. Yeah.
What?
Robo Justice. ... Gotta see he's still alive. I'm seriously happy Hifumi's still alive, but Robo Justice? And see, we still are down to 7 people at this rate. This just keeps getting stranger and stranger. Alright, well. It's a hammer just like the one Celeste was attacked with in the rec room, but this one is Justice Hammer 2. And on top of that, it's actually a little bigger than the first one. He attacked me with that hammer. He bonked me right on the head with it.
Well,
Hammer that big, I'm surprised you're still okay. I'm not okay. Look at all this blood. Protein helps heal wounds, you know. Would you like some? I've never heard of such a thing. Are you sure that it isn't just you? Is there anything else to really scan? Like, we want to be fairly careful here. But I guess we've seen everything. That guy was Robo Justice.
indeed.
This Robo Justice you're referring to is this, is it not?
What the hell am I looking at?
Like, here you can see he has an R and a J, and then kind of a backwards J, and then another J. So maybe the two interior designs aren't supposed to be J's. What the hell am I looking at? This is the one who attacked Celeste and Hifumi. Isn't that right, Hifumi? Yeah, that's him. I'm sure of it. Robo Justice. I don't know why you wouldn't call him Robo Jerk. Robo Justice, huh?
Damn.
This just keeps getting stranger. And Monokuma's gonna show up right now because I guess maybe it's not really that interfere to show up when nobody has actually been killed so far, or at least proven that they've been killed. It's him. Pew. A robot of justice, huh? Now things are starting to get exciting. What kind of special moves does it have? Can it fly? Can it combine?
What?
So he just showed up for really no reason. Why is he here?
Are you okay with this?
Let us not concern ourselves with him. We need to do now. What we need to do now is get Hifumi to the nurse's office right away. Whatever else we do, we need to treat him. He needs to be treated as soon as possible. It's funny Celeste is suggesting this, since I would feel like she wouldn't even care. You're right, let's go. Thanks everyone. We moved Hifumi to the nurse's office on the first floor so we could take care of his injuries. Which, that's interesting that they could even use half of the equipment in the nurse's office. How are you feeling, Hifumi? You want me to take a look at you? I'm okay. I think it stopped bleeding. I'm still kind of dizzy though, so they've wiped the blood away from his head.
So then,
Perhaps you should rest here a while. Yeah, good idea.
Well then.
The rest of us should get back to looking for that mystery assailant.
yes, indeed.
Indeed, before another victim appears. The Justice Hammers seem to be increasing in size. First one, now two.
So in other words,
If there is a Justice Hammer 3, we can only assume it'll be even bigger than the first two. If you got hit with anything bigger than that, you'd be dead for sure. Tell us what happened to you, Hifumi. Well, I woke up early this morning, started looking for Alter Ego ahead of everyone else. He just mentioned Alter Ego in the nurse's room, which probably has cameras. I went to the 3rd floor, and then went to, and that's where the strange costume man attacked me. This must be what I witnessed around 7 this morning. After that, he dragged me into the library and whack. Down came the hammer. This must have been 30 or 40 minutes ago. Around 30 in other words. We would have still been in the dining hall, which means Hina, Sakura, and I were together, and Kyoko was still with us. So we all have alibis. I was in the laundry room doing my laundry. His black underwear is as black as the pitch black darkness of the blackest night. Why do you know that? isn't obvious because I was peeking. Anyway, that means Byakuya and Toko were together at the time, meaning they also have alibis. Then the only ones who don't have alibis for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked are the only two we haven't seen yet, Hiro and Taka. That's it, right?
Very strange.
By the way, what happened to Kyoko? I haven't seen her anywhere. Oh yeah, she's supposed to be checking the second floor, but I didn't see her up there at all. Where could she have disappeared to? She disappeared, huh? What a strange woman.
So that's it.
She might be exactly as I suspected. Hold on. Kyoko was with us in the dining hall when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked, so I'm not talking about who attacked them, huh?
In other words,
I'm referring to what we talked about last night, who the mastermind spy might be. Are you saying Kyoko's working with the mastermind? That would be weird, but I wouldn't be super surprised there. I mean, if somebody's going to be a spy, it could be Byakuya, it could be anybody, really. That's not possible, isn't it? This woman, who seems almost eager to handle dead bodies, hasn't revealed her true identity. Save this discussion for later. Right now we need to focus on finding the suspicious individual.
Okay.
Yeah, if we don't hurry, there's only going to be more victims. That might be why Kyoko and Taka and Hiro haven't shown up yet. She's right. We have to do something about the mystery man first. Don't worry about me. I'll catch up with you guys after I rest for a bit. Understood. Take care of yourself.
well then.
Okay, let's go. So whoever's this is running around, why are they wearing this weird costume? Don't bother looking for a reason for a deviant.
What to do?
So, what are we gonna do? Split up and look around? Our opponent is very dangerous. We don't know what they're capable of, even here. Celeste goes ... question mark.
What?
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Really? Up on the second floor then. You bastard, you won't get away from me. We all shot towards the stairs. He must be around here something. Let's split up and corner him. But don't take any chances. As soon as you find him, call out and I'll come running. Okay, but what should we yell?
Just a second.
Anything, it doesn't matter.
So then.
Then is ha okay?
What are you saying?
Ha or do ya or whatever you want. Just yell loud enough that we can hear you. Do ya? I've never heard of such a reaction. Oh, whatever. Hurry up and start looking. Okay, let's go. Hey, Mr. Robot, where are you hiding? If you don't come out, I'm gonna decommission you. We spread out in every direction looking to track down the costume suspect. So at this point, we can wander around, and seems like maybe we could look in the pool, but it's just, even if it's emergency, I can't go in there. Let's see. Once again, nothing in the bathroom cleaning closet. But I go in the bathroom and then I come out and then they yell again. Apparently they are just doubling down on the idea of you just not finding anything and then getting other people yelling to get you to come to specific places, which honestly, this is a good idea. It's just being implemented poorly. This is an idea that feels like it would have been better if it had been implemented in the first chapter or even the second chapter once. And so about every one chapter, somebody would scream and you'd come running because somebody screamed because they found the body. Which leads to another theory I'm starting to think, is that it feels like maybe the chapters in this game were created kind of at separate times or in a rushed way so that they couldn't go back and edit chapter 1. If they had an idea in chapter 3 that might have been better placed in chapter 1, that might just be because of bad management, but it also might be because Danganronpa was originally designed to be like a a manga or an anime, that if you were just rushing every week to get each story done, that would explain why things seem to really only go forward and not backwards in the ideas they implement or think about. That strange cry, that had to be Celeste. It came from the floor above. She's on the 3rd floor. I sprinted up to the 3rd floor, so now
Everyone.
we're now on the 3rd floor. Celeste didn't say she was going to the 3rd floor, which is suspicious. Everyone who heard the scream had come running.
Just a second.
Celeste, what's wrong?
What?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. He must be down this hall. Come on, let's go. Genocide Joe, haha. What is it now? Interesting, so we're gonna get to see the sneeze in which he turns back into Toko. And you can see with the Hachu, even they have changed her name. Huh? Whoa, it's really true. But that doesn't matter now. And here we have the almost trademark scream of Hifumi. Ugh. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
What?
What about the suspect? We've gone through all this trouble to capture him, right? Then why don't we split into 2 groups?
It's all clear now.
I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Sakura, and Byakuya. This is getting down to a level here where everybody's splitting up at different times, so it's just completely confusing when events could occur and who could have possibly committed a murder or not. Particularly if there turns out to be like 5 murders that end up happening. Toko also is not particularly a good character for the hunting party, but I guess she'll stick by Byakuya no matter what.
So then.
We'll handle it. Just take care of Hifumi. Okay, you guys be careful. With that, we split into 2 groups. Me, Celeste, and Hina all ran downstairs to the 1st floor.
Just a second.
There is a better way, I think, to tell a story like this, though. Instead of everything happening within a few minutes of itself, you could have had some free time where you ended up choosing to hang out with maybe 1 or 2 people instead of the whole group, or maybe you could just be prompted to decide who you're going to hang out with as you pair up and search the school, and then in that way there is free time in between the actual story mechanic where you can actually be told a story and kind of get distracted by the fact that you're searching, but it's taking you a long time. At a certain point, that may not make a lot of sense because of how small the school is, but it still kind of feels like that would be a better way to integrate the free time gameplay concept into the actual story concept. He's in the nurse's office. Let's go. This would be a great time where had it just told me that I needed to decide who I was going to split up with. And I guess I could try and wander around if I really wanted to. Like, theoretically, these people are supposedly standing somewhere in this open hallway, but they aren't, really. They haven't been placed anywhere in the game. So we just have some deceptive labeling on the map. And really no reason why they should make you walked to the nurse's office when it would have been better to simply just force you to move the story forward if there was no other reason to do that. Unless there is some secret that if you went back and played this chapter after knowing the having played it once, maybe there is some way you could get a different ending and reveal some secret by going to a different room. But if that is the case, that'd be very weird because we've tried that multiple times where we've tried to go places where we're not supposed to go and the game just tells us no. They stormed into the nurse's office and what greeted with us was a world of dripping crimson. And we're getting an animation here. Everything was covered in red. And then the center of the red was Hifumi.
No!
Ah.
What the?
So they established Hifumi was live, so we can now establish he's dead. Looks like something very bad has happened. I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered. Why not? Plenty of opportunity for any of them to be murdered. Murdered? You're not serious, are you? He's not really dead, is he? And so here we're getting the body announcements, where 2 or more people have discovered a dead body. Let's see.
A body has been discovered.
Ding dong, ding
After a
dong.
certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
So we're gonna kind of rush into the class trial too. What the? That was the body discovery announcement. The body discovery announcement. When 3 or more people discover a body after a murder, that's what plays. And since we just heard it, that means Hifumi, someone killed us. One of us. One of us? And look at that. When Celeste said that, she pointed to something. Something on the floor. Something that had also been on the floor after the last 2 surprise attacks. Alright, well. Yeah, let's, I guess, talk to people. Before I do anything, I need to confirm what I saw. So the game is just telling you you can't even talk to the people. Another hammer, Justice Hammer 3. It's even bigger than the other 2. Just as they suspected, 1 strike from that and you are finished. Then the killer. There can be no doubt, the suspicious individual, going by what Hifumi called him, the culprit must be Robo-Justice. Whoever is hiding in that costume is the one that killed Hifumi. But wait, you saw him on the 3rd floor, right? Running back into the hall. How did he end up in the nurse's office? You're not saying that he teleported or something, right?
Are you okay with this?
We can figure that part out later. Right now we have to tell the others. You're right.
So then.
Then shall we go? ... Hina, snap out of it. Huh? Are you okay, Hina? Sorry. I'm not sure I can move right now. I feel kinda... This is a problem. We just can't leave Hina here alone. Okay, then I'll go get everyone. You stay with Hina. Celeste, ... Very well, I'll leave it to you then. Okay, I'll be back soon. This would be another great point for you to grow your relationship with Hina without really just hanging out and kind of going on a romance date type scenario with her. I tried to be confident and upbeat, but I still hadn't stopped trembling from what I'd just been through. Everyone else is already on the 3rd floor. I have to hurry. This is where everyone was chasing after the suspicious individual. Where was he headed? Celeste, what's wrong? There was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed down further into the hallway and disappeared. He ran off going further down the hallway, which way into the back of the hallway. So now we are on the 2nd map, and either we are going this way We're going that way. And so either I'm supposed to search these. Let's see what it says if we click on this. It just lets us in, so. Nothing here. And I have to expect somebody to scream again. It's not like there's a timer. Getting tired of this. Interesting. Let's see, this would be the rec room. And the robo hammer is still here. Which, frankly, somebody should take these weapons and either arm yourself or arm others. Alright, so it's either the laboratory or the art room. You still have the weird controller input where you can't turn and look at the same time. Let's just check back here just to make sure. Well, I can notice that there are several hammers missing. Whereas this was a full thing, so if there's a hammer 1, it would be really small. Otherwise, this is hammer 1, this is hammer 2, this is hammer 3, which leaves a hammer 4 still possibly in existence. But there's nobody in the art room, so then they have to be well, it can't be this way unless somebody can open this and get through the gate, which maybe they can. Who knows? Otherwise, it's over here. Kind of has to be over here because there's otherwise nobody else. ... As far as I can tell, there's nobody here, but I still feel some kind of presence. Yeah, I'm sure I can feel someone's presence. This presence is coming from over there in the back. So, yeah. So I left through the doorway, and when I did, I found another nightmare. The second nightmare of the day was waiting there to greet me. Another animation. This time we have Taka, which is kind of great because Taka starting to cuss just like Mono did was not appreciated because it wasn't appreciated when Mono did it. So plus Taka as the ultimate moral compass wasn't really contributing much to the group as far as these murder mysteries anyways. He didn't strike me as particularly smart, particularly after his breakdown. There in a pool of his own blood was Taka dead. Chapter 3, A Next Generation Legend Stand Tall Galactic Hero. Where we can see Robo Justice and Hifune and Sakura. Hifune's body discovered in the nurse's office. Taka's body discovered in the equipment room. I was a witness to two nightmares, one right after the other. And see, that little break there also just makes it feel like that this was designed to be like episodes, or maybe really, really long, like 1 hour direct-to-TV, direct-to-DVD anime stories. But then if they were animated, if that was really the case, if it went that far, then the animation would have been a lot better. So it's almost like this game was a anime TV series pitch that got passed on, and so instead they made a video game after the idea instead. I wouldn't be surprised if things like Kickstarter start becoming fairly popular in Japan, where we start to see more games like this not get created, and instead they get released in a more linear anime style format, which this game is, I think, so focused on telling its story that the gameplay mechanics are kind of secondary. No, they weren't nightmares. This is harsh reality. The true nightmare is the reality you have to face every day, but still. Why is this happening? So Byaku's ... Sakura's ... Okay. So we've got tarps over here. Can't be bothered with the tarp right now. We've got a dolly. No, can't waste our time. We have another hammer. This one's Justice Hammer 4 and it's even bigger than before. Is that suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka too? Is there anything else physical to click on? Toko here is either dead or passed out because she saw blood. Toko? Don't tell me Toko too. Relax, she just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right. When Toko is Toko, she has a fear of blood, huh? We've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Just leave her be for now. Byakuya is still very abusive. It's like you said, I should just leave her alone for now.
However,
but why is it Justice Hammer 4? Huh? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1, and Hifumi was attacked with Justice Hammer 2. But this time it was Justice Hammer 4. What happened to number 3? What's the matter? Well, when you mentioned Justice Hammer 3, you just reminded me. Out with it. Do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one who's been killed. Hifumi's dead too. What?
hey,
Hifumi's been killed? Yeah.
I see.
Which is why you came to get us. Then we better go check it out. Of course, come on. So now we've left the crime scene and potentially left Toko behind. Sakura, Byakuya, and I rushed out of the physics lab. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab... Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up. Yeah, I heard. Hifumi is dead, right?
Indeed.
Well, that's not all. It is gone. Huh? What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared. That's not super surprising because Monokuma was basically doing that after the trials. It's just a little weird he's doing it before the trial. What?
What did you
What are you
say?
talking about? It disappeared. Don't be ridiculous. ...
Come on.
Are you serious?
What?
What the heck is happening here? Everyone, back to the nurse's office. So we are just literally running back and forth, letting people run circles around us, obviously. At least one person runs circles around us. I practically leapt down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. ... I couldn't believe my eyes. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes earlier. It's just disappeared. ... Me and Celeste went to the bathroom, but when we were only gone for like a minute. And then when we got back,
Indeed.
this must have been work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. That's very different from we all must adapt, Celeste. We're gonna die, just like those guys died.
What did you say?
I don't believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear.
Why?
First there were 2 murders, and now one of the bodies has been taken. This is unnatural. Hold on. What do you mean 2 murders? Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
It can't be. Taka too? It can't be. It can't be. No. Hina, calm down. Interesting. So they did have Sakura record the line Hina. So why does she not use that a lot more often? To when she's talking to Hina or Aoi. We're all gonna die, all of us. They're gonna kill all of us. Then who might be the next target? Who might the next target be, Toko? Huh?
What?
I completely forgot. She's still unconscious in the equipment room.
Well,
You left her at the crime scene? We didn't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up. Remember, let's point out this regulation that had been already mentioned. Where is it? The guilty party may only kill a maximum of 2 people during a single killing game. So, while it does seem like you could potentially kill a whole bunch of other people, unless there are multiple murderers running around working together or working against each other, each individual can only kill 2 people. Otherwise, Monokuma will probably stab them or blow them up or something. We don't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up.
huh?
So is she still unconscious?
Damn.
Wait, so you knew she was still up there and you said nothing? Why? That annoying little insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her. You bastard. Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting. Right now we need to hurry back.
Huh?
I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die. Byakuya, if something happened to Toko, I'll never forgive you. Oomph. So we run around again. We shot out of the nurse's office and bolted up the stairs and headed back to the 3rd floor when we ran back to the equipment room at full speed. When we got there, Toko, thank God you're okay. But right away I noticed there was something very different here. So now Taka's body is missing. It was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right there, had disappeared. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all of this or something? I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, that this whole game is a hallucination. No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before. And what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before.
Huh?
What are you saying? Taka disappeared too?
Stop talking.
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish into thin air. Obviously whoever did this has hidden the body. But why would they do that? I couldn't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our costume suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree. We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us. I have to wonder if these little visual effects are worth it. They probably are, because it probably teaches a programmer how to make the visual effects for future games, not potentially non-visual novel games. I wouldn't be surprised if they had interns work on a lot of a game like this, and then they give them little projects, one-day projects, to have visual effects on top of what would be relatively simple visual novel programming. Probably not interns, but like low-level programmers. We've got to hurry and catch him before he kills all of us.
Not possible.
Okay. Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that. Huh? Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these bodies?
Well,
When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone was here on the 3rd floor.
it is so.
After that, we split up into 2 groups. And now this time, all of you come here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only ones here, the only ones who could have done this are Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us. You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you are in love? That's not it at all.
That's fine.
Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi,
Let's see.
which means the suspicious individual we're looking for can be none other than Hiro. Which, let's check to see who's Hiro. Which one is Hiro? Yashahiro Hagakuri. I guess, yeah, he's the only one that's still missing. Yashahiro. If they were gonna just give him nicknames, then they should have introduced him at the very beginning of the game with nicknames. That would have been easier to establish it that way at the beginning, and they shouldn't have bothered to put their full names at the top of the screen. It should say nickname, then full name, a nickname in parentheses or quotation marks. Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that. Oh, that's right. There's a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
That's right.
As long as the rule is in place, there will not be a third murder. If they were to break that rule, I'd mince you without a second thoughts. Mince you, grind you, and turn you into paste. By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish like shrimp or crabs? Yeah, Monokuma being random, indeed.
Let's see.
So since 2 people have been killed, there's no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger. I still meant it when I said we'd be better off without her, though.
In other words.
Anyway, with that in mind, we can relax and search for the 2 missing bodies. 2 missing bodies? 2 people have been killed and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. But is he really the killer? What about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
What?
Hey Makoto, what's the matter? Huh? Oh no, it's nothing. Whatever, we need to find those bodies or our little narrative here can't move forward.
So then,
Very well, let's split up and begin searching.
but
So splitting up again, but there's no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during this case.
'cause,
I know that. I mean, I do, but if you're still nervous, I'll come with you.
Huh?
Okay, thank you. No need to thank me. Then let's get moving. Yell out if you find anything. Bianca left the equipment room, followed by the others. You have to try and find the 2 missing bodies. Are we just leaving Toko on the ground? Apparently, so. So we have Toko in this room, and we have Aoi and Hina in the other room. And are they gonna tell us specifically where we trigger something, or do we have to just actually search? I think we're gonna have to actually search in this one. Alright, well, so like, this would be funny if this was the free time again, where we could hang out with people, but also that would be a good point to like integrate the free time element. It's a freaking oper. When Toko is on Toko, she has a fear of blood. I don't have to worry about anyone else dying. I'll just leave her alone for now. So we got new things we can investigate. Taka's entire body has disappeared, leaving behind nothing but a blood stain. I guess we're not even in the investigation mode. Made of wood, it's even bigger. Like, cause we don't have any truth bullets. We're not collecting truth bullets. Tarps. And there was a cart, and the cart is missing. And this is a point where I specifically remember what happened, having watched Game Grumps play it, so I'll try not to spill too much, but you can see there are some drag marks of some sort, or wheel marks probably, from the cart. There. You know what's... It's probably not much of a spoiler to say that the game, the way it ends each chapter, is so awkward and weird anyways, that it kind of isn't even a reasonable mystery. Like, even knowing how it's gonna go, it still doesn't really make the most amount of sense as to how it actually does go. Alright, well, once again, I guess work our way to the art room. And we can talk to these two.
Damn.
We need to search the bodies have disappeared, whatever happens then.
Huh?
Where could the dead bodies have disappeared to? Rattle, rattle. Huh? The door must be locked. So the door's locked. Can we get the Kura to break down the door?
Damn.
Well, if the door's locked, that would be kind of weird, because with the exception of the bathrooms and the girls' bedrooms, we've basically seen no doors that have locks on them at all. Makoto,
Come on.
why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. You mean, you mean?
Indeed.
I found them. Afumi and Taka's bodies have both been hidden in the repository. Where's the repository? I've already told her. Hina and Sakura will go on ahead. The bodies were in the repository. Where's the repository? Art room. Ah, that's the repository. The room that had the locked door. See, that seems unnecessary to have me find a locked door and then have to go back after already searching a different area. They're definitely playing this concept of people coming to get me a lot more when they didn't do any of that in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So it would make a lot more sense for me to just stumble onto one of these event rooms by myself. And frankly, there probably could be a way you could do that pretty well, because you could have, instead of the map telling us where people are, there could just be people in almost every room, and whatever room you go to search, that one person tells you basically the same thing, that they basically say, oh, there you are, we found the body in the repository. And you might get told that by any number of characters, and it might not really matter at all or make it feel like there's a difference. See, and in this instance, Toko is missing from the map. Are the bodies here somewhere? I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. Alright, so we have to just go in here. Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. Then I have no choice but to go inside. So this room can lock. So I opened the door. When I entered, I saw this is like the 4th or 5th murder scene you've seen. So is the idea that this is just supposed to establish the despair in your character all over again? The two bodies that had disappeared were here, right there. And a blue tarp, I think, was used to move the bodies. And I do have to suspect that they were brought to this room specifically so you would find them in front of the missing hammers. Let's see. The two bodies that disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for a second time. Hmm. Ding dong, ding dong.
A body has been discovered.
Hmm.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like,
Hmm.
the class trial will begin.
So now there's gonna be one class trial for 2 or 3 murders. Hmm. Well, 2 murders. And so here we are.
The Monokuma file!
Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was gonna hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. Interesting. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later.
Okay, see you later. I feel like it would probably be better if Monokuma also, at the point he gives you the Monokuma file, he announces an arbitrary amount of time you have. And then the time would like change every time you trigger an event. Just having everything say it's daytime is kind of pointless. You might as well not mention daytime or nighttime at all for this game if you're not gonna go for a full like schedule of some sort where they say it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Well, now that they've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit. Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
Terrible.
Dead, gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this?
The problem here, certainly, is that it's pretty hard to like Hifumi as a character. I mean, even if he was funny in the default Japanese language, I mean, he probably wasn't that funny. And this scene in particular feels like you're just doing some fantasy fulfillment by having the big-chested character Aoi holding him in her lap. But yep, we can see in this picture at least that he really is dead.
Why?
Yeah, that is, I guess, a bigger problem of the game in general. I guess you can also see Hifumi's shoes are green in this picture and seem like they're clean too, so she's not hadn't walked in blood. In case that's important. Yeah. The game tries to make it feel like all these people were friends at any point, and they just really weren't. So it might have been better if in the prologue everybody got together and had a party together and and just talked to each other and became somewhat friendly. Even maybe a week together of just living together may have brought them a lot closer before any murders were even mentioned or the murder games were even mentioned. Why? And see, this tries to be emotional for a game that really can't be emotional. Large wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this were some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. And here we have a special animation. And his eyes opened. This wasn't ink.
He's alive again?
Alright, well, wait a minute. If he's alive, then what bodies were found? Was it like, is Monokuma just announcing bodies when they're close to death? Or what? Or do you get announced if you lose the body because somebody moves it and then you find it again? Do you get the announcement again?
Where am I?
So, yep.
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Let's see, is that supposed to be a Game of Thrones reference or not? I don't even know.
Hifumi, wake up!
This guy's been bashed on the head twice already. It might actually fix the character if he just was, like, concussed and stopped making the ridiculous jokes.
Huh?
But, yeah, I don't know how a concussed person would play a good role in a classroom trial.
That's right.
We're getting full voice acting here.
I remember now. Hope's
So
Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
we can just press A and not really have to read it out loud.
Everything.
This might mean more than it sounds like if he remembers everything.
Before I met you all. I met you all.
Before I met you all, I'd met you all? What does that mean? Byakuya says, his memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us. Interesting that Byakuya wasn't voiced in that sentence. They must have not paid the voice actor for that scene.
It's reaching out to me. Like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me?
Who killed them?
That's right. I remember their name. Yasu.
Yasu.
Hiro.
Yasuhiro. Wow. The only Yasuhiro we know is this Yasuhiro. Dot dot dot. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, unavoidable, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed on his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. Surprised we're not going to get another body announcement at this point. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That's the only person he could have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. This is going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of wooden giant hammers. Is this what Hiro is?
What is this?
If that's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends. Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time, it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. ... It's going to begin again. We're going to have to go through this one more time. ... I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Let's see, Kyoko's still missing, and we have completely forgotten about Alter Ego, which first I better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimura. The cause of their death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were killed with a similar weapon. Dot dot dot. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That's no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than Monokuma file could anyways. Maybe. Dot dot dot.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? With a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? Monokuma shows up. An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question? You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
That's the question.
So you ask, and so I shall answer.
Yeah, we have to get a flashback here because it's been so long.
Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
Which means you could probably have more than one accomplice.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
And then get reminded Mondo even existed.
In other words,
So basically you can have an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So you're saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only the blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal. Okay. Let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In the class trial, what you need to determine is the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened, just one person. That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened and accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see why Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation. I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information. You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone as a suspect, just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended. Yeah. You, when did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. ... Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer. Making fun of her big boobs again. Milk sack?
You've gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was just still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would be able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not going to kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
so then.
Hina and I can handle that. I don't mind it. Do you, Hina? Sure. I'd be totally useless in the investigation anyways. Yeah, Hina is pretty much useless in the investigation always anyways.
clear now.
Then that's it. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me. But I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma 3, file 3 has been added to your truth bullets section. So clearly he has given us some fewer bits of information to make it more difficult. Or he's just considered that it's so stupid easy that it doesn't even matter. There are hammers of all different sizes, although some are more like mallets. Could these justice hammers have been disguised using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and some chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? We have a spotless hammer added. What else can we click on? Like in investigation mode. I still don't think we've got nice tokens that are going to show up. So I don't think that there's like real reason to do anything there. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this tarp to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added. We have a dolly. Come on. I did not click on that at all. That was way off. It's a dolly. It doesn't have have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. Was the dolly always in the art room? It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Oh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Yes, it was. And look at the wheels. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? So we have another truth bullet. I wonder if we're even gonna leave this room. Ifumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move something so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository. Yeah, you're not going to get a dolly up and down the stairs. All the way from the first floor to the third floor, all without anyone noticing it. Well, how the hell? ... It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about that later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head, probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait, huh? Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body now. That's it, his glasses. See, you don't even have to investigate it or think about it yourself. The game will tell you half this stuff. And boy, look at his tiny little legs in this picture. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Hifumi's glasses have been added to the truth bullet section. So what else do we have to click on? Not much, so we can just kind of talk to people. Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone else could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. At least Hifumi said when he died. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, he said Hiro's name.
In other words,
there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why did he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue in there somewhere.
What?
And is it that... And is that it? That's all that bothers you about this case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigations. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Yeah, I wonder what would happen if you literally just knocked somebody out and threw them down the garbage disposal unit. Is that really all there is to it? ... The other thing that bothers me is, why bother killing 2 people?
What?
What? Because the rule says if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, the number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps. I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay? ...
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with that attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Bye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out, but if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? So you have like a full conversation here and there's just kind of nothing. There are many aspects to this incident this time, too many to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then,
Would you like my help? Sure. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search, and soon after that we split up. Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual laying unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It had become clear that Robo Justice dragged Hifumi away. After meeting with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor to resume search. It's not long after leaving the nurse's office. ... What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving at the top of the stairs. Dude, I really need a recap at this point? Maybe. Maybe some players would. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor and we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Oh god, huh? What was that? Then he came down the stairs. It must have been him. He's in Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. We have to go back. After that point, we decided to split up into 2 creeps. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. Using I and you is not super useful in this conversation. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which also is when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
however,
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered right around the same time, because I remember hearing the body announcement play right after finding Taka. And then when I showed up and told you and Byakuya about that Hifumi had been killed, you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered that we had abandoned the unconscious Tokyo and rushed to the equipment room. Man, like when you just put it even in shortened, abridged sentences, it's just too much. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating or something? This time Taka's body had disappeared. So then we began our search for both missing bodies, and after some time Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. There we discovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. There is a problem here, as we now are going to have fewer and fewer people. It is going to run a scenario where somebody is going to be so involved in the discovery of bodies and the discovery of evidence that they potentially could mess with the clues or find bodies that they had already killed, of people they had killed themselves. Man, this is a lot of extra talking I probably didn't need. And that brings us up to now. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back on the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Alright, so Sakura is just going to become our recap person for this chapter, or maybe the rest of the game. Makoto, I was thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh, what is it? After Hifumi and Taka's body disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. We came right to the repository, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? So we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, who unlocked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when we searched for the bodies, when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. But I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Do we have anything else to click on? Nope. Through the door that Hina said was locked. There's definitely a lock on this door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository, so it's just a simple privacy lock, which probably means that any hairpin or needle could open it. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. Well, no, it doesn't seem like there is a safe way to open it on the other side. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies, and the door is designed so it can only be locked from inside the repository. Why would you even have the repository lockable in that way? That seems like a bad idea in general for any kind of public building to have a one-sided lock. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims there's no way someone could have beaten him to the repository. So that certain someone has to be Hiro, doesn't it? There's got to be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First, the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Taka was found. Alright, well, we can leave. And for sanity's sake, let's jump. We have the equipment room, but they said do that second. And I assume there's some logic to that. And then there's the nurse's room, which they said do first. And that seems to be the only rooms of importance. So we'll fast travel to the nurse's room. Save ourselves the frustration walking there. Here we have Celeste, so let's just click on everything. See what was in this refrigerator. Wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. ... There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. Like, you would really have that in a high school, even a fancy high school? That seems ridiculous. Doesn't help me though. I'm not a vampire. Are we sure Celeste isn't a vampire? I wouldn't put it past the game to surprise us that monsters exist and she's a vampire. Just her hand. That's 3. This was the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body, but the left the weapon behind. Let's see, we got a trash can. Let's see if there's anything in it. It's just a normal trash can. Oh wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. I guess it's a glasses cleaning cloth. It's got some cartoon character on it. I think we can pretty much tell that is the Princess Pudgy whatever character that Hifumi was always talking about. Oh, but it's also covered in blood. Oh, did you find something? Yes, there's a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth, and it's all bloody. Whoever this belongs to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. But I think it might be important. So now we have the glasses cleaning cloth. As soon as we get all these things, we will obviously start the trial. Which puts us kind of in a nice position because just about the time that the trial starts, we'll be ready to start a new episode. What are you investigating, Celeste? I need to be careful to save in between every recording. I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to get worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. So we now have Celeste's account. Alright, well... Imagine then we've scanned everything here. So then let's now fast travel here. How many truth bullets do we have by now? 8? We had like 16 last time, so we may have fewer truth bullets, which means the whole case might go a bit quicker. Which I wouldn't be super upset with quicker class trials. I assume there's nothing in the previous room. So let's just scan everything again. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the motor weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire marks going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. It reminds me about the dolly in the repository. they're definitely making a lot of connections for you, dumbing down the mystery, where I feel like you could have easily not done that. But I also feel like the story that they're trying to tell here isn't really a story where they want some percentage of players to not figure out what's going on. You really are just along for the ride here more than actually playing a mystery game. There's blood on its tire. Could the blood have come from here? Which means that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using this dolly. But both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Total mystery that would be better explained if there was simply a elevator in this building. And it was like more handicap accessible, which it's not surprising that a Japanese school wouldn't be handicap accessible. And I think we can pretty much see that there are 2 tarps where there once were 3. This tarp, I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. So yeah, nothing less of a truth bullet there. More of a hint to find the truth bullet in the other room. Let's talk to Genocide Jill. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. Okay. Okay. So now where do we go? We triggered that event. We don't see anything here. We don't see any trigger events here. Let's go back to the rec room, but let's just do it walking around. Because I figure I would trigger something, and obviously we've triggered it. So this is where you are. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hero wrote to get us to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear. This is a trap. What? What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What what are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. Goodbye. Interesting. So something's a trap. Yashihiro's message has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. So he said go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? As far as truth bullets, what do we have? Well, nothing super surprising. So now we've triggered, I think, an opportunity to get back into the dorms. We can see Yashihiro's room is a new trigger event. It's like there really is just still not a reason to go into the trash room. Particularly in this case, it would have been easy to knock out Hifumi and get the key to the trash room. It's not like a reason to go into Hifumi's room. So how are we gonna get in Yashihiro's room when all these rooms are, like, locked? The door is unlocked. I guess you can just leave them unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. And look at how much stuff is in his room. Like, every other Ultimate student has completely decorated their room amazingly well, and Makoto's room is just completely sparse, which is kind of crazy, because it does almost imply that they are they are just getting used to living there and giving up on the idea of escaping. It's also a visual glitch on the left where the camera is glitching in and out. I don't think that's intentional, though. I think this is straight up a glitch in the game. This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Yeah, why is this so glitchy? Oh. We've never been in his room, so we'll get Monokuma tokens. See, there's like a single frame that is just the wrong frame. Like they flipped it. I don't even know how you would flip a single frame in a loop, but apparently they did. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that we don't get to investigate. So we got a bathroom. There is something way over here. No, that was just a door. On it. So we got the bathroom door. We've got the bed. Let's look in the bed. It's a normal bed, pretty much like the one in my room. We can't search to see if his toolbox has been opened. We have a bunch of boxes. Let's try the bathroom door. I soundlessly check the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? So yeah, there's no lint brush either. There's no notepad either. So all we have is boxes. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's a blueprint for something. And some things made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? It's in Hero's room. But wait. These blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Yeah, the penmanship doesn't look the same. Which, yeah. Hero does seem to have good penmanship, but there's basically nothing stopping him from not having good penmanship at some point, particularly if he's trying to disguise his actions. And then, once again, they're just so heavily focusing on the idea of you bumping into somebody to move the story forward. It really feels like Chapter 3, or at least this part of Chapter 3, was written by a completely different writer compared to Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Makoto, big news, big news. What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news. Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hero wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hero and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. And they just skipped the transition. Thank goodness for that. But this is kind of a great point where it is once again going to pretty much point out that having these side areas of the pool are kind of pointless. Kyoko, ... Kyoko, and...
I mean...
Let's see. the R and the J for Robo Justice is kind of rough penmanship too. Pew man, I had the worst day. ... Hero. So we've got one locker we can search. It's a big locker. And then let's just talk to people. Start on the left and work out to the right. I'm positive that is the suspicious individual that attacked me. Wait, we can't click on the screen. Apparently this ridiculous object is Hero. I'd ask Kyoko for more details if I were you. So are we talking to Kyoko or are we talking to Robo Justice? Robo Justice has finally made his appearance. I guess Kyoko's the one that found him. So I guess we're talking to this Hero.
Oh, hey,
Hi,
Makoto.
yeah dude. Who else would I be? That's a good question. Huh, what? Why do I look like this? What, did something come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? ...
Right.
So it'd be funny if Hero was always a robot and we just never knew. I found Hero who was jammed into the pool room locker. I was looking, it looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There's something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
Nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, Hero, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that. And I think that is as good of a place as any to save and call it a day. We will get the answer to why he's dressed like that and probably start the court case. If I recall correctly, there's kind of a lot of conversation still that's going to happen before the class trial happens. But with any luck, we'll maybe be able to finish the whole class trial in the next recording and then move on to chapter 4. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.